fellow dispatchers. I'm going to be making panzanella today. So for anyone who doesn't know what panzanella is, it's a type of salad. But before I lose anyone there, it is a bread salad. So you pair some nice crusty bread with some fresh raw vegetables, you toss it in a simple vinaigrette, and you have this delicious summer side dish. Or sometimes I will add some grilled chicken into it or grilled shrimp. Tofu works for non-meat eaters, and you have this substantial yet refreshing entree. So for ingredients today, I have a few tomatoes. You can use cherry tomatoes, doesn't matter. I have some bell peppers, so I'm using yellow and orange. Red works as well. I have 1 red onion. I'm going to be using half of this. I have an English cucumber. I have a bunch of basil, and I have my crusty bread, the most important part. Oh, and capers as well. So this will be a nice briny addition to the salad. So for the bread, like I said, I'm using a nice baguette. You can use a crusty sourdough, anything but a soft bread, just because the dressing will soften the ingredients and it will marinate for a little bit. So you want to avoid a soft bread so you don't end up with a mushy salad. So ideally, I would use a bread that's starting to get a bit stale. So it's kind of like the same situation with stuffing or bread pudding. You use a stale bread, so it makes for like a kind of custardy consistency. I know it's like a really gross way of explaining it, but it makes it really delicious. Unfortunately, I just got this yesterday. It's not stale yet, so I'm gonna dry it out in the oven. I'm gonna chop it into 1 to 2 inch cubes. I'll toss it with some olive oil, some salt, and I'm going to bake it on a sheet pan at 350 for about, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. You want to keep an eye on it. You don't want it to turn into croutons. So somewhere in the middle between, fresh, soft bread and croutons. But yeah, go ahead and chop. All right, so I have the bread cubes in the oven, just drying them out. I'm going to just wipe off this cutting board here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and chop the veg. So I'm gonna cut up my tomatoes. Okay, so my tomatoes are cut. Also want to mention here that this is kind of like a rustic salad, so as far as the sizes of the chopped vegetables go, I don't really go for precision. I just go with the flow. And Okay, so for the cucumber, I'm going to peel it, scoop it out. So I want to get rid of the flesh of the cucumber because that can make the salad soggy, and that's the last thing we want. So yeah, chop, peel, scoop, and then just chop into crescents. Okay, so my bread is now done. I'm gonna take it out of the oven. And now I just have to chop my red onion and chop my basil. Alright, so this is the point where you realize that you don't have a big enough bowl to fit everything. So I need to So I'm going to divide everything into two separate bowls. And now the last thing that I need to chop is my basil. So I have about, I don't know, 3 large handfuls of basil. This is a rustic salad, so I don't know, just go with whatever looks right. As far as chopping the salad, I would say go for larger pieces. I like to be easy on myself, and I don't know. So now it's time to add the bread to the veg. So I have my 2 bowls here. And I'm just going to evenly distribute my bread into each bowl. It's nice and crunchy, but not too crunchy. And capers. So I know some people aren't really fans of capers, and you don't need to put it in there. But it does add a nice brininess, so if you're into olives, that could be a great substitute. But I am a big caper fan, so that's what I'm gonna do. I would probably say, like, I don't know, a few tablespoons of drained capers. Just gonna use my hands here. All right, so now I have the bread and the veggies all in the same bowls, and now I need to make my simple vinaigrette. So for that, I'm going to use some oil, vinegar. I'm using a white wine vinegar, but red wine vinegar would be great. Champagne vinegar would be awesome. Balsamic if you're into that. And yeah, this dressing is just gonna be some oil, vinegar, and some mustard. I'm using Dijon, but feel free to use whatever you got on hand. So grainy mustard would also be really good as well. So I'm gonna do half cup of oil. Just gonna eyeball some vinegar. So probably a few tablespoons of vinegar, and then some Dijon mustard. I love mustard, so I'll probably put in like close to a tablespoon, maybe a little more. And I'll also add some salt and some fresh ground pepper. And now I'm just gonna whisk this all up. And add it to my salads. Good toss. So let's see, let's get a nice view. All right, so here are my salads. And now I want to let the salads marinate so the bread can absorb that delicious dressing and everything can kind of meld together into a beautiful, harmonious salad. So this will go in the fridge for, I would say, at least 45 minutes. I'm gonna probably leave it in for a couple hours. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half since I finished my salad and put it in the fridge to marinate, and it's looking really delicious. It's super colorful and bright, and I'm so excited to eat it. I just topped it with some more black pepper and a little bit of pink salt. Another great addition to this would be cheese, so particularly feta cheese or goat cheese. A nice crumbled cheese would be really good. I recommend topping it as you serve rather than it sitting in with the mixture, but I'm not going to add cheese. I don't have any, unfortunately, but I'm just going to give this a taste. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of everything. So I have nice cucumber pepper bread. Bread is so good. I mean, if you're struggling with getting your veggies in, just add bread to it and you'll be likely to succeed. It's an ongoing debate between my family and friends right now. What is the superior carb source? So bread, pasta, potatoes, rice. Obviously there are many other carb sources, but out of those like main four, bread hands down would be my superior carb source. If I had to eat bread for the rest of my life, I would be so happy. I mean, I could do that, but I shouldn't. But you should eat this.